Hey everyone, 2024 was a great year for gaming, and as we move forward into 2025, I wanted to take one last look back at the year that was 2024. For me, I don't feel like I play as many new games as I would like, mainly because of how expensive it can be trying to purchase every new release, which is one of the main reasons why I use Game Pass so much. And today, I'm going to show you my year in review for all three major consoles. And spoiler, I use my Xbox quite a lot. But first, let's start off with my thoughts about Nintendo and the year they had. Personally, I really didn't use my Switch very much. While there were games that I was interested in trying out, very few games really grabbed my attention. I still played Tetris 99 somewhat regularly, but towards the beginning of the year, Suika Game really took over that drop down puzzle style of game for me. After that, I tried out the demo for Princess Peach Showtime, and while I enjoyed what it was, I never fully gravitated towards it. I never ended up buying the full game, and while I can see myself buying it in the future, I don't think it'll be until I can find it at a pretty decent discount. I did also buy The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, but due to recent events in my life and the release of my game of the year, I was completely distracted from this game and I haven't returned to it since I put it down multiple weeks ago. There is one Nintendo game that released this year, which I still haven't bought that I really want to get, and that's Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. This game looks like it's a ton of fun. I just never really had the time to pick it up when it was released, but of any Nintendo game this year, this is the one that I'm most frustrated at myself that I didn't pick up right away. Although I did pick up Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door and definitely enjoyed my time with the game, although I didn't end up finishing it. And I haven't bought Mario and Luigi Brothership yet, although I do plan on it eventually. Throughout the year, I only played my Switch for 70 hours, which is by far the lowest of any year since the Switch's release, with multiple months out of the year having played less than 1 hour. Just like everyone else, I'm definitely starting to look forward to the recently announced Switch 2. Moving on to PlayStation, I absolutely use this way more than my Switch, with almost 75% of my PlayStation gaming time coming from just two games. WWE 2K24 really ate up a bunch of my time after it was released as a free game of the month on PlayStation Plus. With over 100 hours into the game in about 3 months, I have no shame in saying I never actually played a match. I spent every moment in the game just playing GM mode, booking and simulating my matches and trying to beat the computer players. I played multiple different seasons, giving myself different challenges. I did 1v1 against the computer. I played against multiple computers at once. I played with an only female roster. I played with an only male roster. And if anyone has any suggestions as to a self imposed challenge I can give myself, let me know your ideas down in the comments because I'm always looking for a reason to start a whole new season again. But before getting sucked into the vortex that was WWE GM mode, I put 100 hours into Final Fantasy. Leading up to the release of Rebirth, I purchased and played through the Yuffie DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I beat the DLC just in time for the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth the very next day. This game has me so divided. I love the combat, I love the story, the cutscenes, the voice acting, but I hated the filler in this game. I don't think I want to do another Chocobo race ever again. I didn't even enjoy Queen's Blood the way the rest of the gaming community seemed to love it. To me, it was just a distraction from the better aspects of the game. But overall, I think the game is absolutely fantastic, as the amount of good in the game far outweighs the bad. My third most played game on my PS5 was The Last of Us Part 2. This is a game I played a couple of years ago and fell off, so I decided to restart this past summer. I got what I think is about 70% in and again fell off, but I have every intention of finishing it this time. Actually, the past week or two, I've picked it back up and I think I'm now looking like I have maybe 2 to 3 hours left, so I should be finishing the game hopefully this weekend. Like many of you, I also picked up Astrobot this year, and while I enjoy everything the game is doing, I actually didn't fall in love with it like everyone else seemed to. I think the game plays great. It has great ideas. It looks great, but there's something about it that just isn't hooking me in. I still haven't beat the game yet, which means I haven't unlocked the speedrunning levels. I plan on finishing the game. There's nothing holding me back because I do enjoy it, but there's also nothing about it that seems to give me that urge to want to turn it back on. And rounding out my five most played games on the PS5, we have Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Now, there is a video up on the channel with my full thoughts about the game, but in a nutshell, I had a pretty good time with it. I had never really played a Sly Cooper game before, but because of this, I'm looking forward to when I have the opportunity to try the next game in the franchise. While I did play a few other games on my PS5 this year, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was the one I was looking forward to the most, and for me, it absolutely delivered. Now, I only put 70 hours of game time into my Switch. I put just over 300 into my PS5, but I ended up putting 735 hours into my Xbox Series X. My Xbox is my main console. It's the one I turn on every day of the year. I don't have a smart TV, so I use it to watch YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, and any other streaming service. So even when I'm not gaming, my Xbox is still my main entertainment device. But most importantly, it's where Game Pass is, and it's where I can gain more Microsoft Rewards points so that I can then redeem another month of Game Pass for free. For those of you who haven't seen some of my other videos, I've been on a quest to get Game Pass for free for a full year by doing nothing but redeeming Microsoft Rewards points. And this past holiday, as I redeemed for the month of January 2025, I just accomplished that goal, with still a bunch of points left over to keep on going. But because of Game Pass and these rewards points, I tend to play the vast majority of third party games on my Xbox. So I use it for third party games and I also use it for first party games. So let's see what my most played Xbox game was. And not surprising to me, it's Brotato. Some of you might remember I put out a video a while back called I Can't Stop Playing Brotato. And well, I wasn't lying. I put 155 hours into it and I still play to this day. After that is Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and all 100 hours of this is online, mostly with my partner. Her and I sit on the same couch, each with our own TVs right next to each other, playing online, and it is fantastic. We play online at least an hour almost every night. Although I do have every intention of starting the campaign for it pretty soon, so maybe I'll start that when I'm done with The Last of Us Part 2. Finishing up my top 3 games played on my Xbox is Slay the Spire. I somehow managed to get completely sucked into this game. Every time I lost, it was just so easy for me to say, okay, just one more try. And they recently announced and showcased Slay the Spire 2, and I can totally see myself getting absolutely hooked into that whenever it comes out. Other games I played this year, I beat The Plucky Squire, which is a game I enjoy, but it definitely had some faults, mostly pacing issues. The game felt like there was way too much dialogue, and it really made it feel like it was constantly starting and stopping. It rarely gave me long sections of uninterrupted gameplay. I ended up finishing Sea of Stars at the beginning of the year, which is a game I really enjoyed. It dragged on a little bit too much, but overall, I had a really good time with it. I think the combat was absolutely fantastic. I played Captain America Super Soldier for the Xbox 360. Maybe it was the Marvel fan in me because the game had some jank that I definitely looked past because I was just having a really good time. Throughout the year, I put some decent time into a large variety of games, from Little Kitty Big City and A Little to the Left to Neon White and Roller Drome. And while I had a decent time with all of them, there was one game from Game Pass that actually became my personal game of the year, and that's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I absolutely loved this game. From the visuals and voice acting, the story, and the set pieces, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was an amazing time from start to finish. I never felt like it dragged on. I never felt like it was boring. I was able to have a blast at any point in the game. I felt like the gameplay was extremely fun, from picking up items to use as weapons to his trusty whip and just plain old punching a Nazi in the face. Every aspect to the combat was extremely fun. I did have some very minor issues, like a couple of glitches in terms of quests not saying they've been completed, even though my inventory had the note I was supposed to find, and I found the boating around to be a little slower and more tedious than I would have liked. But to me, the good aspects of the game far outweighed the bad by such a large margin that I 100% of the game, and all I want to do now is go back into that world, even though there's nothing left for me to find. Between Wolfenstein The New Order, which is another game that I played this year, and Indiana Jones, Machine Games had a large positive impact on my gaming time in 2024, as I ended the year playing 2 games in a row where I could punch Nazis in the face, and it was a great way to end the year. Now, as we look forward to 2025, I'm really excited to learn more about and hopefully play Doom the Dark Ages, Metroid Prime Beyond, and of course, the Switch 2, and whatever the new 3D Mario will be from Nintendo. And there we have it, my personal year in review for 2024. I had a really good time playing games this year, with Indiana Jones and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as standouts in my opinion. But what about you? I'd love to know what's your favorite game you played this year. Whether it's an old game or a new game, it really doesn't matter. I'm just curious. Be sure to let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up. It really helps out a lot. And be sure to subscribe for more videos. And here's to hoping you have a fantastic 2025. Thanks for watching.